Good morning, everybody. It's a new year, and we're going to start things on time. We're Republicans. We're efficient. So not only on energy, but getting press conferences started at the time we said so. So good morning, everybody. Happy legislative session. We're here today on an issue that we've been here for, unfortunately, many times over a scope of 16, 18 months, even 2 years, some would say, on some proposals that we've been talking about for a while. And the reason we're talking about them is because we hear from constituents, we hear from our neighbors, whether it be on the campaign trail, whether it be at events, the same exact thing over and over and over again, and that is that we have unaffordable electric rates in our state. It's about time it stops. We were at one time the second. I think some reports have us now at the first, the most unaffordable state in the United States of America when it comes down to energy rates, and it's unacceptable on every single level, and that's what we hear from our constituents. And so when we get elected and we have the fortunate opportunity to represent our neighbors, we've come up here to speak for them. And we have to come up and address the fact that Senate Democrats right here in this building just last week came out with a plan literally about nothing. It was the legislative proposal equivalent to Seinfeld. It was a bill about nothing. And not only did they step away from that comment, they doubled down on it and bragged that it was about nothing. And so when you see a bill about nothing, we as Republicans say, hey, we have an idea. We actually have a bill about something, and we've been talking about it for 2 years now. We have a six-plan energy proposal that we've been talking about again for 18 plus months. We believe that it will provide affordable rates to the people of this state. It will probably finally provide some level of relief, which they have not seen in a long, long time here. And frankly, Democrats own this problem. They've been in control for many, many years, and the rates have exponentially gone up. So once and for all, we believe that we can undertake this effort to get these legislative proposals passed. And really, the Democrats on this issue have become the party of no. The Republican Party has proposed this, have discussed this, as I said, for a very long time, and every step of the way we've been told no. And again, just last week, their alternative to our proposal was literally a bill about nothing. So at least steal one of our ideas. We have a list here. We'll talk about it now. And if they want to take some of these ideas, if it's going to provide more affordable relief to the people of this state, we're game for it. We're absolutely game for it. Let's have a discussion about it. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to my good colleague in the House, Representative Candelora.
Thank you, Senator. Good morning. Yet again, we are here to talk about our energy plan. It is a joint plan between the House and the Senate Republicans. Unlike our colleagues across the other side of the aisle, we are on the same page when it comes to energy. And what we've seen over the last 2 years from the Democrats is gaslighting the general public. They blame the utility companies. They blame Connecticut's environment for energy, the lack of ability to get generation. But time and again, they have not come up with anything viable for the state of Connecticut. And despite the fact that we have continued to offer a lot of these same ideas that we're going to offer again today, they had the nerve last week to finally say they're going to have a listening tour, but at the same time said they're not going to listen to Republicans. How hard would it be to have a public hearing on these ideas to flush out whether or not they are viable for Connecticut? Doing nothing is not an alternative, and that's all we have seen for the last 2 years. Finger pointing doesn't reduce electric bills. In fact, the closest we're getting to any movement is PURA opening up a docket to look at how they're proceeding on their own process, because I think they recognize the fact that it's not working. And so we are here today, again, to offer our six-point plan, and I will now turn it over to Senator Fazio to outline those specifics.
Thank you, Representative. All of us have heard from countless constituents who are struggling under the weight of such high electric bills here in Connecticut. This is a problem that hurts everyone across Connecticut regardless of background, and it's a problem that requires state leadership. We have now updated this six-point plan 4 times. The first time it was released was 2 years ago, back in January of 2023. And on each occasion, we've heard the high electric bills being faced by our constituents explained away blamed on extraneous events, whether it's geopolitics or individual deals with power plants or hot weather or cold weather. I think Bill Shakespeare had it best when he said, the fault is not in our stars, but with ourselves. The only thing that these high bills have not been blamed on are the people in charge of this state. State policies, in fact, deserve blame for the high rates of electricity that every single constituent of ours has to pay every single month. And therefore, we need state reform and state leadership in order to fix the problem. We, again, are updating a 6-point plan. We could choose to just cast stones and blame the people in charge for these high rates in this terrible situation, but we're here to offer solutions, to offer leadership to the people of this great state. And again, we are updating a plan that has been in existence, has been out in public for roughly 2 years. The first plan is to cut public benefits charges from our electric bill. That's a hidden tax and an off-budget budget that's hidden in everybody's electric bill. Again, I think we've been gaslit a little bit on what is contained in those public benefits charges, but about $500 to $600 million statewide of public benefits charges are paid every single month by Connecticut residents, excluding the charges for the Millstone contract, which oscillates between a credit and a debit to the bill. But that means that even excluding the Millstone charges, that every single resident in Connecticut, the average resident in Connecticut rather, is paying roughly $400 a year in public benefits charges. That's unfair, that's regressive, that's hurting our economy, and it's hurting regular families, and it needs to be cut. Now, some of those programs might be retained through the normal appropriations process if we were to shift it that way. But the fact is that as long as they're funded through the electric bills, as long as they're funded through public benefits, there's no regular vetting for the costs and benefits, for the effectiveness of these programs. They just continue to be taxed, come out of our wallets every single month as a matter of course. That's unfair. That needs to end. That's our first point. Second, we need to cap state-directed purchases of electricity at no more than, say, 150% above the wholesale market. You wouldn't go to any gas station that was trying to sell you gas at $8 or $9 a gallon, but that's effectively what our state is making us purchase in electricity for certain state-preferred energy producers. I understand why we would need to have some subsidies in some situations. We're open to it, but it shouldn't be more than 2.5 times or so the market rate for electricity. The third proposal is to have an all-of-the-above clean energy strategy. Stop picking winners and losers, preferred energy producers in our renewable portfolio standard, and I'll put all sources of clean energy on an equal playing field in Class 1 of the renewable portfolio standard. That means include all nuclear, include all hydropower, in addition to wind and solar and other forms of clean energy in the renewable portfolio standard. We have 3 other important points which the ranking member from the House, Representative Tracy Marr, will outline as well.
Thank you, Senator. I am new to the Energy Committee, but I am not new to this topic. As many of you know, and certainly all the elected officials know, every door we knocked on over the summer throughout campaigning, we heard about energy. So we know that this is an issue to you, and we want to be here to help you with this issue. The fourth point that we need to look at is removing PURA from out from under DEEP. PURA's role should be policy, or should not have anything to do with policy. They are a regulatory authority, and we know they need to be independent. The fifth thing that we need to think about, as we look at our grid, we know we are lucky here in the state of Connecticut that right now we don't have rolling blackouts like some of the other states do. But we do need to look at the reliability of our grid, and we talk about the incentives that we have for some of the programs out there that would add to our demand on the grid. We need to eliminate those, and those are including the electrical vehicles. And very much last but not least, we need to increase the supply of natural gas in our state. We need to do everything that we can to assist and support the governor of this great state to help us get more natural gas. We have heard all along from you, the residents of Connecticut, that you want reliable and competitive rates on your energy bill, and we need to be here to offer that to you. So with that, I would like to turn it back over to Senator Harding, and we can open it up for questions. Thanks.